everyone, welcome back to another video. It's important to note that we do record this with one more game to go in game week 15. That is for the game between West Ham and Wolves, which is to be played on a Monday. Currently we do stand on a score of 66 points, but really which is much more credited to our captain, going with Cole Palmer, who did wonders against Spurs. Other than that, it wasn't that good of a week. Most of the assets didn't come through as we expected, and it was more of that game week where the people that we least expected to perform were the ones that were actually holding and performing. It was that kind of game week whereby the most sold players, or most of the people that most of us had let go weeks before, weeks leading to game week 15, were the ones that are actually performing. So we shall go through that briefly. Saturday did start off with some not so good news of the postponement of the match between Everton and Liverpool due to the storm Dara that was going around. Most of the games, like I did communicate Saturday early morning, most of the games in Wales had already been called off, and the Everton game was in doubt, which did throw really last minute changes to most of our teams because Salah was no longer in contention to start and was the most captained, I think, for game week 15. It's unfortunate that some of that news did not get to some people who left him as their captain and probably had someone like Saka vice captain or any other asset vice captain. Kudos to those who managed to change through, maybe to Cole Palmer or to any other asset that managed to come through. But for those who left it on Salah, maybe because they didn't get the news and then their vice captain also didn't come through, that's just sad. But that's FPL for you, and we move forward either regardless. On the match between Aston Villa and Southampton, one that we expected to have a lot of goals. It was unfortunate, like I mentioned earlier. People like Rogers, people like Watkins was benched. Actually, we got to get the team news, and Watkins wasn't in the starting lineup. Dini as well. Rogers was in and should have at least gotten some returns, but most of his assists of his shots he took were all wasted. So that didn't come through, obviously. Then Brentford was another surprise. Mbemo that same morning had actually gotten a price drop because of everyone was selling him. He was one of the most sold, I think, leading to game week 15. Did come through with a goal, an assist. Schade was benched but did get off the bench and managed to at least get in a goal. Wissa continues to do wonders, at least as a striker. So for those that have him, he continues to do great. Same applies to Isak, who's also going to appear again together with Wissa in part of our watch list, because they're going to defy all the odds and going to perform well and at really affordable or budget prices compared to someone like Haaland, who we are going to discuss later on. We do expect that that price tag should be doing much, much more. I know some of you went for him as a captain, and at least it's good that he did come through with a goal and I think three or two bonus points as well, which was really good on his side as well. To go to the Crystal Palace Man City game that I was just talking about, goals for Munoz and Lycro. And then Lewis did come through with a goal final, I think his first Premier League goal of his career, but then also managed to get a red card in the same game week. He should have been in the bonus points had he not gotten those yellow cards, but it's unfortunate, and he got out of the game. Bernardo Silva and Nunes also did come through with assists, and I think all the three bonus points went to Hughes. But Man City's team performance really also still lackluster, very very lacking. It's not surprising, but it's good that the two Manchester teams, which are really suspect, are playing each other next. So that will be a very good game to look forward to, and we do hope for many goals in that as well. Manchester United beaten, not surprisingly, but really didn't play very well, beaten by Nottingham Forest. Wood is one of the main discussions. Most of us, I think, did mention his fixtures. His fixture run like 3 games back were not going to be the best, but he continues to defy all the odds. He did get 3 in the goals as well. He scored together with Gibbs White. Bruno Fernandes managed to put through a goal as well. Ahmad with an assist. Those are some of the mainly owned assets, and Bruno had 2 bonus points. Gibbs White's on 3, and as well as Wood, whom I've discussed, was also on 2 bonus points. So he continues to really return for most of those that still have him. I don't know if there are some who actually just brought him back into the team because Salah and all Liverpool assets were out. But either way, it's kudos to you for having at least had him in your team and have not sold him yet. Sunday we did go through the Arsenal Fulham game. I think Saka was the most captained after after the whole postponement of Salah's game. Saka, I think, was one of the highly captain. It was unfortunate he didn't come through. He had almost a last-minute goal that was disallowed by VAR due to an offside, a very narrow offside, but it wasn't really good. It wasn't really. Fulham did put up a very good defensive performance. Still talking about the assets that we did sell. Personally, Raul Jimenez is someone I did have for a long time in my squad, and I did let him go a few weeks ago. He did come through a very, very, very good finish to clear out a clean sheet for Arsenal for Arsenal. Gabriel also didn't start this game. This is another thing, another maybe point to take note out of this game. He was rested as well. I think it's still to help him get really fully fit. So we get to monitor that even during the Champions League games to see how he goes, how he performs. Raul was on 3 bonus points, Rice on 2, and Saliba on 2. Saliba continues to also, I think, 2 goals in one game in the same week as well, which was really good. Ipswich did start really very well by wiping out the Bournemouth clean sheet, but in the last dying minutes, Unal and Ouattara did also get the 3 points for Bournemouth. Semenyo, one of the highly brought in and at least anticipated players for this game week, still blanked as well. So, and lastly, I believe, and then Vardy as well. Vardy came through for Leicester with a goal and an assist to come from 2 goals behind for Brighton. Joao Pedro still blanked as well. Basically, all the usual mainly owned assets did blank. Estupinian did come through with an assist and a wonderful goal from Lamptey as well. But it was really more of a Vardy show. He did take all the 3 points as well. So Vardy, another person I think I did have in my team. I think you get to see the whole theme of this of FPL and everything through just some of these game weeks. And the game of the week I think was Spurs versus Chelsea. It was a very entertaining one, a very 7-goal thriller. Palmer did come through with 2 penalties. I think he has not missed a penalty and I don't know how long. Enzo is another discussion to be had. 3 goals so far and 3 assists in just like the last 3 or 4 games, and it's just at 4.9 million. So he's another person that maybe we need to begin talking about as well. Madison did come through. Johnson did come through. Though he was subbed off, I think he had a bit of a knock. Pedro Porro, for those that still have him, at least had an assist. Son, one of the players I think had also just moved out a week before, managed to come through with one of the later consolation goals for Spurs. It was really an entertaining game all through. But yeah, that is how our game week 15 is going so far. And like I mentioned, there's still one more game week to go. To go through our watch list, as I've mentioned with the Liverpool, there's a high chance that Liverpool is going to have a double game week after the postponement of their match. So we look forward to see how that arrangement is going to be done. But most of the predictions are that they may be a double game week 25. If a double game week 25 does happen, that will mean Liverpool will be having 2 games between Wolves and Everton, which would really, really be very good fixtures for Liverpool. So one of those things to be looked out for is that communication of that when that match is to be played. So for those that have not yet, for example, used their triple captain, that's one of the best times that you'll be able to use it. Really, those would be really, really great fixtures. And as we roll into the new year, we wait for the announcement on the mystery chip as well. So we wait to see if it is something that you can probably use also in that double game week as well. In our watch list, like we mentioned, someone like Saliba, 2 goals now in involvement in the same week. Trent, who we believe the fixtures for Liverpool going to look good, and he was getting more involved going forward, like we did anticipate at the beginning of the season. He continues to look very good. As to opinion, the fixtures for Brighton look good. It's unfortunate the clean sheets are not coming through, but at least he's coming through with some attacking returns as well. Palmer is a no-brainer. He can even be a set and keep captain for the next game weeks to go. We're going to discuss captaincy of game week 16. It's a really tricky one, but hopefully we can all get it right together. Saka will be looking very good because he does play Everton as well. In case there's anyone that doesn't have him, really should be high in ownership. That is someone to really think of getting in, and especially having missed out in this game week, I think they'll be really up and against it against Everton. Fernandes will be playing Man City. I think he still looks like the sharpest Manchester United person going forward, and he's also the only nailed person I think going forward in the team. Others we kept. It was unfortunate; it was actually removed early, and I felt like Manchester United did look a bit blunt with him off the pitch. But hopefully, we get to see how they get to perform against Haaland and Co. in the game week 16. Then in the forwards, it's really Wood and Isak and Verdi that are going to defy all the odds that are looking very, very good to me. But obviously, Haaland once he gets in between the goals as well, he would also continue to look as a good asset with especially De Bruyne playing behind him. They did link up for a number of chances that Haaland did miss out, unfortunately. To look at how my team will be looking for game week 16 as it stands, I think Raya will be my goal. I do not anticipate making any changes. I would want Robinson to get out because I do not have enough bench cover. And if all fails, maybe I can bring in Greaves for him because I do not think I can make a transfer to bring in Trent. I would want Trent, but I think it would be possible in two moves, and I have only one free transfer. So I'm thinking more of rolling and keeping the team as is, and maybe we'll make a decision between Robinson and Greaves on who should start. Because I believe Fulham away to Anfield may not be a very good fixture for Fulham. Uh, Salah is a very good shout for captaincy, like I mentioned. I do believe Fulham still has, I think, better defense than, for example, an Everton or even an Ipswich. So to me, for now, I think we shall going to discuss this as we go. Obviously, there's Champions League matches to be played in this week, so that is always something I always encourage us to monitor, to wait on those transfers, to delay on those transfers at least, and be able to monitor Champions League games, any injuries or any information that comes out of them, and then we can proceed with our transfers. So for now, I think my captaincy stands on Saka, who plays a much weaker team and is at home at the Emirates. Then I think Cunha as well is a very good shout. We wait to see how they do perform today against West Ham. But I think Cunha is also a much better shout as well, playing at home against Ipswich. Uh, Palmer against Brentford is a very, very good one as well. So we do have like about 3 to 4 captaincy shouts, which are really very, very good. That is how I think my team currently stands. We're going to monitor, wait for the midweek games. Otherwise, FPL responsibly and catch you next time.